Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Padone. It is Tuesday, April 15th, 2025, guys.
It's Tuesday, isn't it?
It's Tuesday, isn't it?
This is a special day, guys. It's Taco Tuesday. I'm just kidding, guys. It is Jack O'Rourke's birthday. Happy birthday to the GOAT social media manager. Jack, you woke up. You're another year older. I won't say your age unless you want to say your age.
You feel older?
But happy birthday, Jack. Love you, man, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
I appreciate it. You know, I mean, any day you wake up and the first text you see isn't from my good buddy Ryan, where the hell's the show sheet, then, you know, it's a good day to wake up. So we found a couple other texts stringed together in there somewhere. So, yeah, good morning so far.
Do you feel older?
Not yet. But, you know, I haven't seen how the Guardians bullpen looks tonight, and I think a lot of it could change based off how that goes.
Do you have any birthday, what's the word I'm looking for, traditions?
Traditions? Not really. I'm usually pretty lucky for it to fall on the day of a Guardians game, though. So if they're at home, I'll go. If not, then watch the fam.
That's nice. I know it's still kind of coldish out, but you don't understand the pain of, Nick, you do, of having a winter birthday.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It sucks.
You can never do anything outside.
No.
It's always...
This is going to sound like the lame. I've never once, like, really done anything for my birthday.
Yeah.
Like, besides, you know, the classic, like, go to dinner. Like, that's...
Well, you're
That's
also
the
really
extent
caught
of it.
off where you're at specifically, where you have like Christmas and New Year's, like you're just strung in the middle of so many events where it's hard to in a way because like you're probably moving a family a lot and stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, winter birthdays aren't for the weak. Not a big fan of them. NFL Draft, we'll start there, guys. The 17 attendees were named yesterday. Jalen Milroe and Jackson Dart, guys, were the only two named that will be attending without a first-round grade. Notable ones, those, of course, include Ward, Hunter, Genty, Tet, Will, Jahad Campbell, Abdul Carter, Mason Graham, Will Johnson, Malachi Starks.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
I don't know that I love the fact that Jalen Milroe is being connected to my team and he's attending this draft.
Kind of a little bit of a surprise, right? Seeing him and Jackson Dart on there, you know, that kind of, I love this time of year because like the draft conspiracy theorists are in peak form, like the tinfoil hats are all out. So you have to wonder, like, does that mean they have some sort of first round guarantee? Is that why they're attending the draft? And or is it, you know, Pittsburgh at 21? Do they have a word from either the Browns or the Giants that they're going to trade back in late in the first round for one of these guys? Honestly, kind of impressing that Green Bay, Wisconsin was able to pull 17 in-person, attendees, especially now that we've seen kind of the trend is that these guys stay home, watch with the family. Would you guys go in person or would you watch it at home?
I don't have a big enough family, so I think I'd go and just bring my immediate family with me. I mean, that's a once in a lifetime thing. I get it if you have a huge family and you want to just celebrate with them. But for me, this is what you work your whole life towards. And especially if you know you're one of these guys that are going to go in the first and you're not going to be left hanging around in the back room. Oh, I'm going all day.
I don't want to get too deep in the weeds on this because I know we have a bunch of other stuff to cover today. But to properly answer this question, I need to fully be in the mindset. Am I a quarterback, receiver, linebacker? Am I like for sure top five? Am I maybe a first rounder?
You're a projected first round. You got an invite, so you're a projected first round pick.
What position? That's a big one too.
I don't think it matters.
Because I'm being serious. If I'm a quarterback, I'm only going if I'm in the top. If I'm like a guaranteed stone cold, my leg falls off, I'm still going in the top 5. I would go.
You don't want to be the Will Levis,
dude. If I'm anything else, I'm not going. Because like I don't know if it's just like the growing up, like the constant panning over to Aaron Rodgers sitting in his chair, or Brady Quinn. There's so many great ones. The guys who are supposed to go top 10, top 15 in fall. I just couldn't have my face plastered all over TV as the guy who's falling. The agent's calling every 10 seconds. Don't worry, baby. We're going to be okay. We're going to get through this.
The camera's panning to Gia Duddy every 5 seconds.
Yes. And that one really didn't work out for Will Levis. So, but then again, Will Levis probably should never have been a first-round pick. Had a nice pro day. He's got money for the rest of his life. So good for Will Levis.
Yeah, well, all these other guys I mentioned, obviously first-round picks. Travis, Genty, Tet, Will, Jahad Campbell, Abdul Carter, Mason Graham, Will Johnson, Malachi Starks. Those are all for sure first-round picks unless something crazy happens. Yes, Nick, I did think it was interesting. Jalen Milroe. Why would you go if you're going to be a day 2 pick, even if you have the chance?
And there's an interesting omission from this list that we kind of an elephant in the room here that we we haven't discussed.
No
yet.
Shador.
Because he's falling, baby.
No Shador.
And
I
he
did
knows he's
find that
falling.
interesting.
He's kind of said from Jump Street that him and Travis Hunter were gonna do like some big watch party in Boulder. Dion was also talking about they're gonna host like a big thing for Shador in Boulder. Travis Hunter changed his mind though, and he decided that it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to walk across the stage, so he's gonna go. Shador staying planted though in Denver. He is not going to the draft.
Did you see?
Which is interesting.
Did you see Buffalo is retiring Shador and Travis Hunter's numbers?
Feels like maybe a little late game PR push from Coach Prime. From this is a reminder to people out there: Shador doesn't have an agent.
I've never been a huge fan. I think the only time you retire a college number is if they win the Heisman, personally. So like Travis Hunter, I understand. I guess Colorado, you don't have many people to hang the banner, retire the numbers, but I don't know.
I have a very loose knowledge of Colorado football history, so I apologize because I don't know this guy's name, or if he's in their hall of whatever. But when they won their national championship, like around that 1990 area, because I only know because they beat Notre Dame in the championship. They had a quarterback who I believe tragically passed away pretty young, who quarterbacked that team.
Well, that's valid.
To the champion. So that's what I was gonna. As I don't know if he's is or not, but what I was gonna say is, regardless of again don't know his name. That guy should be in if Shador is in. That was all. That was my whole entire point with it.
Well, speaking of Shador Sanders, now he is going to do a last minute, I guess you could call it, workout with the New York Giants. I saw Mike Tannenbaum tweet. Not a big fan of Mike Tannenbaum, but he did tweet. He was a former GM, so he knows his stuff, obviously. He said this is usually a sign of, one, there's a big disagreement within the front office. That would be the Giants brass. Or they're reacting to some sort of new information.
And I agree with that. I have to say, I do agree with that.
Yeah.
Because what else are you doing? I mean, Shador Sanders has 4 years worth of game film on display. What are you really going to learn from a private workout for Shador Sanders? And nationally, I know all the reporters were putting out there the Giants could surprise some people with the number 3 overall pick. I almost looked at it as maybe the Giants think that this fall is so drastic, they want to have themselves prepped with the number 34 overall pick, 1 pick behind the Cleveland Browns in the 2nd round to potentially draft Shador Sanders.
I wonder
how I interpreted it.
I wonder if, and obviously, listen, the Giants brass knows more than us, obviously. I wonder if there's been such a push of Travis Hunter at 2, maybe they thought for sure the Browns were actually going to take Shador, and now they realize that's not the case. I don't know. It's interesting, though, because it is a super, super late meeting.
It's a weird organization. I mean, it just goes back to all the Saquon stuff. And
maybe Joe Schoen's kid told him.
Yeah, no, but
you need to watch Shador.
Speaking of Joe Schoen, though, like, it is such a weird thing because you did bring in Jameis. It's like, okay, Jameis is your guy. Like, he'll be they're going to take a quarterback for sure. Like, why else would they bring in Jameis for no reason? Oh, shit, they decided to bring in Russell Wilson also. Like, the random name generator had him going to the Meadowlands. So now you're in that position where you do have a quarterback who you're not paying zero money who's going to be on the roster. Jameis also is getting good backup money. Like, that's a real weird quarterback room if you're going with Jameis as the 3rd guy. I kind of think they thought that Shador was never going to be on the board at 2, and then now that he follows, like Nick said, it's this oh shit moment.
I mean, obviously,
he's sliding. Like, there's no two ways about it. You read some of these mock drafts, unless the Browns or Giants surprise everybody, which could happen. You know, like I know it feels like Travis Hunter is etched in stone. This time in the 2018 NFL draft, it felt like Sam Darnold was etched in stone. And then the day of the draft, you started hearing the reports and rumors and leaks that it was actually going to be Baker Mayfield going number 1 overall to Cleveland. Giants could do the same thing and surprise everybody with the 3rd pick and take Shador. There's something in the back of my mind that's saying that now the Giants are doing this prep for 34 overall and taking a look at what Friday could look like. Could you guys imagine if the Browns take Travis Hunter at 2, which we all kind of feel like at this point is going to happen, Friday, if Shador Sanders is still available, what that day is going to look like while we wait and see if his name is going to be the first pick read 33. Like, the anticipation of Friday will be nuts.
If Shador Sanders is on the board at 33, you cannot pass on him. Come on.
I don't know, because then at that point, it's like, what do all these other teams know? You know,
yeah,
why?
I get it, I had that too, man. I did not jump to say yes. And I'm a risked up guy.
I mean, and I'm a Shador fan, and I agree with you, Ryan. If that scenario were to play out and he's there Friday and we're sitting here Friday being like, WTF do we do?
Cry.
I think you got to go for it. And truly, like, the Browns are the type of organization, like, give Jimmy Haslam all day Friday to think about Shedeur Sanders and the
That's
Browns.
what I was going to say. There will never be a higher day of Tommy Rees stock in this town than if Jalen Milroe and Shedeur Sanders are both sitting there at 33.
I would throw
the
up.
whole entire world wants the Cleveland Browns to run back Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders. And he's like, you know what? Tommy Rees loves him some Jalen Milroe. Come on down, 4's up. That's what's going to happen.
So looking at the draft board, if the Browns pass on him, the Giants pass on him. Nick, you mentioned one other team he's been linked to is maybe the Saints because of their quarterback woes. But you mentioned somebody in their media. You paralleled
their main beat writer, is saying that Shedeur is not the pick at 9.
So we'll
see.
And I haven't seen the Raiders. I guess it's possible, but you did just lock up Geno Smith for 2 years. Probably unlikely. And then I haven't seen anybody talk about this. And yes, it's unlikely. But the Cowboys at 12. That wouldn't surprise me if Jerry Jones does something like that. They have a lot of needs they need to fill. I get that. You still have Dak Prescott. But, guys, what was the surprise in last year's draft? It was kind of the same thing, almost the same draft position is the Falcons. You paid Kirk Cousins, an aging guy who was off an Achilles injury, and you drafted his understudy, Michael Penix. Is that not kind of the same thing with the Cowboys here? You have Dak Prescott, big deal. I understand that. Coming off a very bad hamstring injury. I could see it drafting Shedeur Sanders.
That would play in the Bruce theory.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all, Ryan. I think it would totally make
anybody
sense.
talk about that.
It would make sense, but the thing, my one hesitancy on it would be why the hell they just traded somewhat decent pick for Joe Milton then? You know,
that's exactly why.
Do you need
to revamp the quarterback room and to make it
because he's coming to Cleveland?
I mean, it kind of play into Bruce's theory a little bit. Like everybody, how about this about Bruce's
not wrong,
theory?
he's early.
I've never said this out loud, but I've always thought it was interesting that everybody that threw cold water on Bruce's theory was in Dallas media or national media. We never heard any of our local Cleveland people shoot that. Nobody locally shot that down. Just
would it be?
And again, I don't know that it's just something to keep.
It's silly season.
It is.
Screw it. Let's entertain it for the next 5 minutes. All right, everyone, give me the record prediction. If Dak Prescott is the Cleveland Browns quarterback, I will start 10 wins.
I'm looking at the board too. Like other than that, I mean. I don't see any other team except 21, the Steelers taking a Shedeur or...
I'd see the Jets doing it.
Yeah.
Justin Fields is just a 2-year.
At 7.
I could see Seattle doing it. That Sam Darnold contract, there's a lot of ways where they could, if Sam Darnold turns back into a pumpkin like I kind of expect him to, there's some maneuvering that they could do to get out of that. So there's teams that could certainly do it. I don't think Shedeur Sanders is... Could we also say this? I firmly don't believe Shedeur Sanders will be there at 33.
That's what I was going to ask. Can you do a quick guess of... Don't need to name names, just like your gut thought. How many quarterbacks go on day 1 in the draft, in your guys' opinion?
I will go 3. I think Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, and then one of Dart and Milroe goes in the first round.
FanDuel has it at 2.5.
Right,
so
which is the that makes sense.
It's probably 3.
I think it'll be 3. 4.
I think Dart and Milroe both sneak up. Dude, Milroe, could you just not imagine Milroe being like he's such a perfect back 5 in the first round, takes over in 3 years.
All it takes is one team. Like the Rams. I see at 26. Like, yes, you have Matt Stafford. It depends. Do you think you're a piece away from going to Super Bowl? I know you're pretty damn close to going to the NFC Championship. Yeah, a team like that. All it takes is one team to fall in love with them. So I mean, yes, it's possible.
And that takes it. Doesn't that take us back to the main conversation and the main point that we've been hammering on this show for all the people that want a quarterback this year? You know, even if it's Dart, Milroe, because you post mock drafts now and people are content with Hunter at 2, but then have kind of like their guy that they want later on. It's if the Browns have a conviction and want a quarterback, not like you don't wait. That's the beauty of having the second pick. Like that's why you call your shot and you do it. And for everybody that thought Shedeur at 2 was too high, Shedeur at 2 was crazy, like I'm still not ruling it out until the name is read and it's Travis Hunter.
I think you guys are totally correct, but it's just so funny because you said that and what you said totally logical, makes a ton of sense. Sean, is that how you say his last name? The Giants GM?
Something like that.
Basically when they asked him about Shedeur last week and he was like, well, we're not going to just take a quarterback to take a quarterback. Like, that's just such a bad GM moment to come out and, like, not even smoke screen what you're doing, but kind of saying the opposite in a way, like, we're going to wait, even if he might lose his job for waiting.
I mean, just so much. I mean, yeah, he won't have long there if they fail. there's just so much shit that changes. We were talking about when Mike Bergonzi got hired. Oh, well, we're going to take the best player in the draft. And everybody was linking Travis Hunter there. Now it seems like now it seems like it's just another Caleb Williams situation last year where the draft starts with the Browns pick. Is basically what it seems like at this point.
And really, it seems like one more week of Travis Hunter hype and Travis Hunter love, and the pick, and then the draft starts at 3 with the Giants, who probably take Abdul Carter, and then the draft starts at 4 with the Patriots, who are probably taking an offensive lineman. So,
but it's just it's so interesting because obviously AB hasn't had a first round pick in a minute,
yeah,
and like he wants nobody to know his pick. Like if it's Shedeur Sanders, and then he's loving this notion that everybody under the sun thinks it's Travis Hunter. There's just so much stuff that could like wow people. I mean, that's what makes it so exciting. Like and I'm gonna turn my notifications off. If I see somebody tweet, I'm gonna be pissed.
Well, we're gonna be together.
Like I want notifications off.
We're gonna have to give like a PSA at the draft. We're having like a private big play draft party. I'm straight gonna stand up on a table and then say, if any of you bozos in this room leaks this pick, I'm gonna make January 6th look like a Cub Scout gathering.
Oh, and I'll be right behind all of the tag along boxes whacking some heads. No, we're not doing that on draft night.
Yeah, you think we get mad about spicy mustard? This will be a whole other level.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take a break. When we get back, we're flipping it over to the NBA. The playoffs are set. Cavaliers will soon find out who they're going to play in the first round, and we'll look at some odds for NBA regular season awards.
Like one of the interns or something like, somebody just tweeted.
No, I'd be so pissed.
I know.
Yeah, you're fired. All right, we got to take a break. When we get back here on The Big Factor. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to The Big Factor on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan, Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Padone. Again, happy birthday to one Jack O'Rourke.
I have a good trick.
Jack has a good idea for the draft part, the Big Play draft party.
Let's hear it.
Not from personal experience. A great trick I was taught back in the day is that you don't want something to happen. You want to prevent something. The easiest way, get rid of the phones. You have someone standing at the door at the draft party with a little gym bag just like mine right over here, and you plop it in, you walk in the door, phone goes down. Until the Giants are on the clock at the Big Play draft party, you will not have your phone.
That's what they did at the Diddy parties, I was told.
That is
We're brought to you today by Fairway Ford, our great friends at Fairway Ford, Ohio. Fairway Ford is the biggest Ford truck dealership in the entire state of Ohio. They have the largest selection of Ford F-150s and Super Duty trucks, and I promise you they will not be beat on price by any other Ford dealers. Every single month, 12 months out of the year is truck month over at Fairway Ford. Up to $8,000 off your new ride, as low as 1.9% APRs. Do not let a short drive to Canfield prevent you from saving thousands of dollars. That's literally thousands of dollars on your new ride. Fairway Ford, the largest inventory of new Ford trucks, the lowest pricing, and the same hometown level of service. And they deliver to all 50 states, guys. You literally can't beat it over at Fairway Ford, Ohio. All right, NBA guys, called it Black Monday because coaches are getting fired this time of the year as the regular season wraps up. Start with the Suns fire Mike Budenholzer just after one season. Suns, outside of, I would say, the 76ers, the biggest disappointment in the NBA this season. It just never works out. It's kind of nice you're seeing the end of what maybe is the Big Three era-ish. The Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, it just never really worked out. And then also David Griffin, a guy we know pretty well here in Cleveland. He got fired from New Orleans, missed the playoffs in 4 of their last 6 seasons.
I just think it's so crazy because I'm still getting into the NBA, as you guys well know. How is there 2 players in the NBA that have like a full no move clause in their contract, and Bradley Beal is one of them? That makes no sense. Like that like the second they went out and got that guy, that the organization was done. I mean, we put it on there, but it's like they're paying well over $100 million in the luxury tax. They didn't even sniff a playoff spot. They didn't even sniff a play-in spot because they lost like 9 of their last 10 or something. For Budenholzer, you got to feel bad, though, because he has such like a weird career arc as a coach where you win the title with Giannis. Like, we always talk about how it was like the perfect time. They had to go in there and get it right when they did in between these groups of dynasties. hometown kid comes back to where he's from, coaches in Phoenix, and really cool intro press conference. Like, I've always wanted to be here. Like, I grew up pretending to be a Suns player in the backyard. Like, this is where I wanted to be my whole entire life. I would coach the Suns if they were on the moon, I believe, was the exact quote that he said in his entry press conference. And he's gone after a year, guys.
$214 million in salaries. You mentioned it. $152 million in the luxury tax. 11th in the West. They finished this season. Lost 9 of their last 10. Their first losing record since 1920. That was Devin Booker's 5th year in the league.
I still think Budenholzer is a good coach.
Yeah.
Though. Like, and same goes with David Griffin. Like, I think David Griffin did some quiet good things for the Pelicans. It's just those are two organizations that just stink out loud right now.
Yeah.
And when you stink out loud in the NBA, guys get fired, deservedly or not. The Suns are a prisoner of the paid super team, which isn't working, and the Pelicans are just perpetually stuck in the middle because Zion Williamson won't put down the floor.
Dude,
like that's where we're at.
By the way, I love, side note, it's April 15th, really close to the draft, and we were just talking about Dak, and I see a Bruce Drennan tweet go out about Bruce still believes in Dak
Prescott to Cleveland.
And it'll never stop.
And all the replies to that are about what you would expect the replies to that to be.
Cowboy fans absolutely hate Bruce Drennan right now.
As I said, the kind of stuff that sucks, too, like you talked about these organizations that are just running in laps of being mediocre by themselves. The Pelicans, like, you move on from Dyson Daniels in the DeJounte Murray trade, who ends up, like, having a great year this year. He's up in the race for Depoy a little bit, I believe. DeJounte Murray, first game he plays in a Pelicans jersey, breaks his friggin' hand in half. Next game he plays, tears his leg up. Like there's some things you just can't. You get really unlucky, and that's what David Griffin's a prisoner of.
All right, before we get to the awards, guys, we'll give our picks for today's play-in games. Magic Hawks, 7:30, and then Grizzlies Warriors, 10 p.m. Hawks Magic, I'll take the Magic, and I'll take the Warriors.
Magic Warriors money lines. That part lays into like minus 103. So that's like damn near a even money line bet. Like, just throw $20 on that and make it easy $40 tonight. I don't see a path unless the Karis LeVert wheel lands on Michael Jordan tonight, which I don't think it's going to. Like, Orlando's a way more physical team. Orlando kind of exposed Karis LeVert in the postseason last year, and George Niang, who was too unathletic to keep up with any of their bigs. This should be an easy night of hoops.
Dubs are getting it done in the Western Conference. We've been talking about playoff Jimmy for months now here on the show, but not so fast, my friend. I mean, I gotta stop you right there, because that's when you're gonna get you're not accounting for the redemption arc of Karis LeVert enough when you're debating what he's doing. Did he have a bad playoffs last year? Yeah, sure. But if there's one guy who is going to find destiny to get his way to Cleveland, it will be Karis. Actually, no, because they're going to lose tonight, so they can play us in the first round. So Orlando is winning tonight behind Paolo.
I saw a funny tweet. They said Gabriel Arias is the Karis LeVert of baseball, and I thought it was pretty accurate. Just they spin a wheel, they're either really good or really bad.
Yeah, I feel like this whole year Arias has been good.
I think that's a lack of respect for Karis LeVert's game, actually.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say the other way.
I thought you were going to say the opposite.
Jack just loves Karis LeVert.
No, no. I do love Karis LeVert. That is a bias that we should mention on the show while we're talking about this. But no, I mean, I'm a Gabby Arias guy too. Like I was never jumped off the wagon on that guy. But no, it's a bit of a disrespect to Karis.
All right, The Athletic gave their staff picks for the NBA regular season awards. We'll go through these quick. MVP, they have Shai winning it, Jokic coming in second, Giannis third, Jason Tatum 4, Spida 5. It seems like it's going to be SJ.
Yeah, that's good.
You win 68 games. You're the best player on the team. That's going to happen sometimes.
All right, Rookie of the Year, Castle. I always say this name wrong. Zachary Rashad. Is it
Zachary Rishache?
Really?
Rishache. Yeah, but it's weird because
I like that.
Somehow the A at the end of his first name more so becomes like part of his last name, the way they say it, like Rishache in a way, instead of like, yeah.
And Montez Bazelis. Coach of the Year.
Oh, I was going to say, Rishache is getting hot late and should win that award. Did you see he had his first 40 ball a couple nights ago?
No, I didn't. I don't watch much of, what is it, the Wizards basketball?
No, he's the Hawks.
Oh, he's on the Hawks. The Wizards is...
So he'll be playing tonight. Maybe a chance to look at the kid who he's getting hot. He kind of picked up once Hunter got traded.
Who's the Wizards guy? The other international guy.
He's got a short name, doesn't he?
You know who I'm talking about.
I know exactly who you're talking about. I think he's a shorter name, though.
Yeah. Coach of the Year, 1, Kenny Atkinson. That's a runaway. They have Ty Lue, 2. They have JB Bickerstaff, 3, which I thought was interesting.
How about the Cavs there? Isn't there 3 of our last 5 coaches, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
John Beeline, sadly, was not in consideration for the top 5.
Oh, that's not what JB stands for, John Beeline?
No.
Exec of the Year, Rob Pelinka. Luka trade probably allowed to do that with.
Yeah.
Kobe Altman. number 2, and Sam Presti, OKC, number 3.
If
If the Luka trade never happened, this is probably Kobe's, man. Like, to stick to his guns on the core 4.
But even it should still be Kobe, in my
the DeAndre
opinion.
Hunter trade.
Right. Like, everybody was gunning for you for saying you didn't make enough moves. You stuck to your guns. And
So is he
and
the
you're the first seed in
executive
the
of the
East.
year for not making any moves, though? In a good way?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then you got
That's
the
kind
DeAndre.
of cool, right?
Yeah, it is super cool.
I mean,
but
sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
Palinka deserves it, though. You got a once-in-a-lifetime generational talent for damn near free.
I was going to ask, so I know Sam Presti is the OKC general manager, but where was he at before? Because I'm pretty sure I've heard that name as a non-basketball guy. Like, was he part of the Sixers process? That's what I was weirdly thinking in my head.
Couldn't tell you.
He's
Okay.
been with OKC for...
Never mind then. Then he was just the 10
Since
draft picks guy. And he's
2000.
still there. Good for him.
Yeah.
Sixth man of the year, lastly here, Peyton Pritchard. He's going to win it. Malik Beasley and DeAndre Hunter, number 3, over Ty Jerome.
I think Ty Jerome does not have the game qualification for it, is the issue with him.
That makes sense. First team All-NBA, they have SGA, Jokic, JT, Giannis, and Bro. Is that Brunson?
Where's it?
You wrote Bro.
I wrote bro. Well, I wrote that at like 6 in the morning, so I was probably tired. I apologize.
Who is Bro?
Can I get a... Is it just BRO?
Yeah.
Oh. Gosh. Yeah, I don't know.
Who
I don't
is
know.
Bro? We'll find it out.
Would it be a big guy? No,
Well,
it's
I mean-
positionless now, right?
Let's think
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
positionless.
If it's going to be first team, it's obviously
Okay, so you're
somebody-
getting Jokic on the first team. You're getting Giannis on the first team.
Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum.
Right. I'm just trying to figure out
SGA.
who Bro is.
I don't know.
All right.
Second
All right,
team.
mystery.
Second team, Jalen
I'll do some
Brunson,
research.
Spida, Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards, and Evan Mobley. 2 Cavs making the second team All-NBA. And then the
That's
third
cool.
team, Halliburton, Jalen Williams, Cade Cunningham, Jaren Jackson, and Karl Anthony Towns.
I saw a couple national guys, like I forget who it was. Maybe it was like Bontemps or something, saying that he strongly considered as a voter putting Mobley in first team All NBA. To me, that's like tremendously early, but
Hey,
I love the respect.
Until we figure out who Bro is, I'll put Mobley above him.
Okay, yeah, I'm refreshing the page, so yeah, no, keep going on this. I'm loving the convo we got here.
No, that's all the awards there. That's all the awards.
Okay,
I think.
I'm
Excuse
scrolling.
me. No.
I'm doom scrolling. Wait a second.
Defensive.
LeBron. It was LeBron.
LeBron.
Yeah.
Okay. And then defensive player of
I
the
meant
year,
LeBron and forgot the N.
Amin. Who's
Yeah.
Amen?
That's Amin Thompson
Amin
from the
Thompson.
Rockets.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then 2 Evan Mobley, 3 Dyson Daniels.
Wait,
I guess I'm thrown
what?
off. Like, where's Draymond Green?
Dude, that was the coolest. So I was reading this article, and they're like, as a committee, we are not giving into Draymond's bullshit from his podcast. He should not win Depoy this year, which I loved actually. Like they were like, there's no underlying metrics that can support this as the number 1 option for defensive player of the year.
But how do you have
Wasn't even their
how do
top
you
3.
have Amin over Mobley?
I didn't write it.
Yeah, that's a little bizarre. Because even like Dyson,
I just haven't seen that anywhere.
Everybody loves Dyson Daniels kind of nationally just because he gets like 3 assists a night, so the gambling world loves him because it's a fun prop to do.
I think with Amin Thompson, it was more that he can kind of guard wherever too. Is because like
Sure.
most nights he's guarding like the other team's best scorer, but like also he can help down low a bit, which is what I believe the article was saying about him.
All right. Well, we got to take a break. We get back going around the diamond, looking around the MLB. Jackie Robinson Day, Guardians headed to Camden Yards to take on the Baltimore Orioles. We'll talk about what's going on in the MLB when we get back on the Big Factor. Hey, everybody, welcome back to The Big Factor and the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan, Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Pannone. We're going around the diamond, but first I got to tell you about our great friends at Garage Beer, guys. Garage Beer comes in just 2 flavors you can see up there, Classic Light Lager as well as that Green Classic Lime Beer. No frills, no bitterness, no IPAs. It's just beer-flavored beer. Find local retailers who sell Garage Beer near you by visiting drinkgaragebeer.com or scan that QR code. Again, you can visit drinkgaragebeer.com to find out where you can purchase Garage Beer. I say this every time I talk about Garage Beer, the most perfect beer to watch during baseball season. All right, guys, Guardians are headed to Camden Yards to take on the Baltimore Orioles today. Logan Allen versus Charlie Morton. Gavin and Bybee will close this series.
Has anybody in here ever been to Camden Yards yet?
I have not. I've heard they have.
Isn't it dope?
It is.
I've heard they have great hot dogs.
I mean, I don't look that deep into it, but
all right.
I've been to about. I
Jeez.
think I've been to like
happy
13.
birthday.
Stop that
I
out.
wasn't coming for you.
Happy
I wasn't attacking you. I
Happy
was not
birthday.
attacking you. Thank you, by the way, Ryan. I've been to 14. I think it's number 1 outside of the home ballpark for me in terms of ones I've enjoyed. I will say I do not remember the hot dogs. I was like in 5th grade when I was there, but I was there in 2013, so over 10 years ago now. But they have Boog's barbecue after Boog Powell, former Oriole and Cleveland baseball player, out there in right field off of Utah Street. So yeah, I'm just ready to watch the Guards unload a couple onto Utah Street this weekend. That's what it's all about.
Well, happy Jackie Robinson Day to the fellas. Everybody, if you're wondering why they're all wearing 42, well, it's in honor of Jackie Robinson, of course.
My mom hates every year, like my dad will have it on, and she'll be like, "This is the game," like why is the pitcher wearing 42 and the hitter is wearing 42 also? And every year we have to explain, Mom, it's because Jackie Robinson, legend, broke barriers like. At one time a year you could put up with the pitcher and the hitter wearing the same number. Like, it's not the NBA. They're not calling fouls on these guys. They could actually do this every game if they wanted to. My mom, not a fan of Jackie Robinson Day, not because of what the day means, but because of the stupid jersey numbers.
When are we getting Larry Doby Day, Jack?
Yeah.
Are you asking me when I think it's going to happen?
Yeah.
To be Benjamin Frank with you here. We'll keep
Should've been
it a
him.
buck on the Big Factor. I don't know if the MLB will ever do it. Should they? Obviously, 1,000,000%. But it's one of those things where like Twitter brings it up and tries to make it a big thing every single year. And nowadays, like professional sports leagues pretty much respond pretty quickly to outrage if it's like a real form of outrage that they sense will ever lead to anything. So I think the MLB's kind of just figured out like, hey, no one's really going to push back that hard if we don't do it. But maybe if we as a Guardians community on Twitter kind of bring it up a bit more this year and hammer it home today, then maybe it'll change.
Well, the Orioles right now 6-9, not the start that Baltimore faithful would have wanted for them. They're kind of struggling. Tyler O'Neill leads the team with a .289 batting average. Cedric Mullins has actually been pretty good this season. He leads the team 3 home runs as well as 16 RBIs. Gunnar Henderson batting just .206. Jackson Holiday still sucks. And Adley Rutschman batting .259.
Adley will figure it out, though. That team will be okay as the year gets moving on. I mean, that's the tough thing about these younger cores, too, is like the Orioles, like, despite how much talent is on that roster, they're still going to go through their slumps and their ups and downs. Like, it's a very young team, but would love to shout out my guy, Cedric Mullins, member of the Crohn's disease community, absolutely killing it this year. One of my favorite non-Guardians baseball players. And guys, we're alive. The sun's out. We're breathing. Hearts are going. And Logan T. Allen is pitching the baseball for your Cleveland Guardians tonight. So how about that? Can you fire me up a little bit? A lot of lefties in that Baltimore the Orioles lineup, so maybe a nice little chance for LTA to get some quick innings.
Nick, before you got here, I was talking to Jack. I'm like, Jack, you're going to get lucky for your birthday. Anything good can happen to you? He's like, you know what? All I want on my birthday is Logan Allen. What'd you say? 6 innings?
No. That's not what I said. I said 5 innings,
Okay.
3 hits, or in 2 walks or less, and 2 earned runs or less. That would make my birthday. Logan T. Allen, it is up to you, and only you.
All right. I think the most maybe surprising team thus far, we could say, is the San Francisco Giants. 12-4 right now as we speak. 323. This is Jung Ho Lee we're talking about. 332, batting, 3 homers, 3 stolen bases, 11 RBIs.
NL West is awesome.
Dude, it is. I don't think I've ever enjoyed a baseball player who is not on the Cleveland Guardians more than Jung Ho Lee, at this point in his career. Like, I mean, a guy debuted last year, was supposed to be this like big, because the Giants can never get those like superstar guys to come up. So you get him over from Korea, comes in, great defense immediately, bat kind of sucked his first couple of games, goes into the wall and just blows up his shoulder. Ends the season prematurely last year. So they're like, okay, like what are we gonna get out of this guy? Like he was like around like a 650 OPS last guy in his limited at bats. Is he gonna come out and be what we wanted Jung Hoo Lee to be when we traded for him? And this guy, Talk about the most electric intro press conference that a athlete has ever had. Or not even athlete. Any company. No one has ever had a more electric introduction to their company than Jung-Hoo Lee. When they introduced him last year, he goes, "Hello, San Francisco. I am Jung-Hoo Lee, grandson of the wind." Grandson of the wind, because he's that damn fast. And he hits for power, too. Not just a great contact bat. That guy put 2 over the wall against the Yankees on Sunday. So it's kind of cool that Aaron Judge was that name for a long time. Like, oh, is he going to go home? Is he going to go out to San Francisco? They never needed him in the first place because they got their guy, the grandson of the wind.
You know, I love listening to that. Is absolutely an insane press conference.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, it is
It
awesome.
fired me up.
I listened to Baseball Tonight with Buster Olney, his podcast. He does a phenomenal job, and I love just hearing him shit out the Pittsburgh Pirates, Jack. You have a couple managers on the hot seats here. Rocco Baldelli of Minnesota. Minnesota not to a good start, 5-12. The most delusional fan bases in Major League Baseball, by the way. And then Derek Shelton in Pittsburgh, who's been there for 6 seasons, Jack. And, by the way, got an extension.
Yeah, so I had a long conversation with my friend Adam Unruh, who's a Pittsburgh native, this morning about Derek Shelton, actually, just catching up a little bit. Man, are things getting ugly in Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Pirates, through 16 games this year, have a team batting average of 186,
That's
right?
abysmal.
That is the
Can Paul
lowest
Skeens hit?
since the 1907 Brooklyn. I can't even pronounce what their team nickname is
saw
because
that.
they're no longer around. That's how bad it's getting. And my buddy Uno's just kind of filling me in, man, on Derek Shelton. His whole thing is every single year, Derek Shelton does not get worse as a manager. His team's always like slightly improve. But the issue is that team has like ticked from like 59 to like 61 to 62, like up to 66. And I don't know. He's not getting around there much longer. That's where it's going. But Rocco Baldelli, we need to get him a contract extension ASAP. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
I would love to get that man extended. Because the thing, I mean, the Twins will never be better than the Rocco Baldelli era.
All right, guys. Guardians play the Orioles. We talked about today, 7:05. Who's hitting a home run? I don't know. I kind of thought about this, if this is something you guys would want to do, because we are a daily show. I used to do it with Matt. When he was still daily, we kind of threw out a parlay every day for like the Guardians, and we could kind of track our progress to see if we're hot. Now, Charlie Morton's on the mound for the Orioles. He's a right-handed pitcher. Are we feeling a Manzardo bomb?
Dude, the thing about Charlie Morton is like he inherently, if he is doing it well, which obviously we're not talking about like starting Game 7 of the World Series, Charlie Morton at this juncture of his career, but he's a fly ball pitcher. So, like, yeah, it definitely is going to indicate more bombs. But I don't know, man. I'm not a huge baseball bettor in the first place, so it might be I can offer my leg of the day, though, if you'd like. And I would give you today Logan Allen, though, my boy.
All right, maybe we'll do that. We'll see if we send something out. We got to take one more break. When we get back, you're saying there's a chance.
Oh,
The Columbus Blue Jackets not out of the postseason yet as the NHL regular season looks to wrap up. We'll talk about that when we get back on The Big Factor. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to The Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. We're wrapping it up here on Tuesday. Ryan, Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Padone. Jack, you're saying there's a chance. You said it's not over till the fat lady sings. The Columbus Blue Jackets do need a little bit of external help. They got to win their final 2 games, but they also need the Canadians to lose their final game. And if that all happens, they're going dancing.
The Columbus Blue Wagons are so back. It is unbelievable. No one is talking about it in Cleveland, Ohio now, but we are sitting 3 games. And let me tell you as well, Ryan, if I had to put in a parlay of the likely outcomes of if the better team should win the contest, what would happen? that would in fact knock the Columbus Blue Jackets into a playoff spot. It is very possible. Tonight. So they have the Islanders to end the year. I know tonight they have the Flyers. So two of like the worst 3 to 4 teams in the NHL are who the Blue Jackets have from here on out. For the Canadians, who they're competing with, who've been kind of struggling as of late, they're 6-6-2 over their last 12, which means they're basically right down the middle at 500. They had to win in regulation last night over the Blackhawks to knock the Blue Jackets out of the playoff race. The Blue Jackets survived. They got the loser point in overtime to keep things right within that 4-point gap. So, yeah, man, it's going to come down to if the Hurricanes, who are one of the best teams in the NHL, can beat the Montreal Canadiens, and the Blue Jackets should be able to slide into the playoffs should all these games go their way. And an interesting element with that is the one person who's a hockey fan out there. I know there's one you listening to the Big Factor. You're going to be saying to yourself, Jack, the Carolina Hurricanes have everything locked up. They're resting everyone. There's no reason for the Montreal Canadiens to lose to them. That's when we go back to the summer of 2022, though, and restricted free agency, when the Montreal Canadiens tried to swipe Sebastian Aho, the Hurricane star, clean off their roster with an offer sheet compensation. So there is bad blood there. Rod Brindamar, who's the Hurricanes head coach, was like a grinder, fighter, Stanley Cup champion in his playing days. He's not the kind of guy who's going to let off the... It's be like if Draymond was their coach. He's not let off the gas for one last game. Guys, we might be going down to some Blue Jackets playoff games this year.
Wow.
That'd be incredible.
I'm looking here, Jack. So 38-33, the Blue Jackets record right now as we speak. That's... In terms of coming into the season, even if you miss the playoffs, you look at that season, if you're a Columbus fan, as a success?
Yeah, they were. I mean, even and again, like everything going on with like the whole Johnny Gaudreau tragedy and like what happened. Yeah, anything was a success out of the season. But going back even further, like, well, before Johnny Gaudreau passed away, while he was still alive, this team with him projected to be on the roster probably was still a bottom 5 team in 99% of people's eyes. So yeah, anything they're doing now is incredible. And hockey's a weird sport because you really should almost always go over 500 in hockey because you get that loser point if you lose in overtime. So basically, you're only getting charged for regulation losses, which obviously are way more common in hockey, but like it's a sport where you do go to overtime a decent amount. But yeah, anything you're getting out of the season is incredible. And there's been so much development, not just from like the young Russian guys like Kirill Marchenko, who was out for a bit and came back and had an awesome end to the season, but like those Michigan guys, Adam Fantilli, Kent Johnson, like the guys that they were going to need to step up and be this next core of the Columbus Blue Jackets future have. And that's why there's tons of reasons to be excited for Blue Jackets fans.
All right, Jack, as we're getting closer to the start of the NHL playoffs, your Vegas Golden Knights have locked up the 2 seed in the West. Before the puck drops in a single postseason game, who's winning the Stanley Cup?
I mean, you don't need to look much further than the team that I just told you there. But yeah, I mean, the
Blue
popular
Jackets
pick.
are winning it all.
What?
The Blue Jackets are winning it all, is what you're saying.
No, I think Vegas takes 2 in 3 years. But no, I mean, Winnipeg, Dallas, Vegas, out of the West are the 3 teams that are the most concerning on that side. Like, there's just a plethora of star power in different spots as well. Like, the Stars have Miro Heiskanen and Tommy Harley, so like they have a couple of good defensemen, but like they have such a great core of Jason Robertson, Logan Stankoven, amongst others. Like they're always really fun to watch. Jake Ottinger's the best American goalie around. Connor Hellebuck's the best goalie in the sport. He'll be lacing up for the Jets. So yeah, the Western Conference side is gonna be really, really fun to watch. And I would bet you one of those 3 teams takes the cup. I don't see it out of an Eastern Conference team this year.
All right, well, that will be our show today, guys. Huge thanks to Garage Beer. Huge thanks to Fairway Ford. We'll be back tomorrow, same people, same time for a Wednesday edition of The Big Factor. Potentially a guest. Do we want to give it away? We want to wait?
No, but I think we don't give away guests after our almost mess ups.
Fair enough. All right, appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow, same people, same time. Peace out.